Alright boys, so ever since the release of Season of Arrivals, ya boy has been looking around for a new loadout to, spice up my gaming experience. Honestly, I don't know how many more times I can hear this. Or this. Before wanting to rip my hair out and go play something like Minecraft. But luckily for me and anyone in the same boat as me, this season's weapons are actually good. And I don't mean like the weapons we've been getting for the past few seasons where every YouTuber, including myself, makes one video on them but never actually uses them again. I mean like some of these weapons have actually stayed in my equipped slot for quite some time. That's right boys, Papa MyFi is here to show you all one of the best loadouts in the game right now. And the cherry on top, this loadout of weapons will not be sunset. Yup. But you know the drill. If you're new and only if you enjoy the videos, then feel free to subscribe. Also my Twitch, please follow it. I do raid help over there and honestly, it's just a good time. Okay, enough of all the plugs, let's get into this monster of a loadout. So starting us out, I want to quickly go over the golden rule of thumb, if you will, when it comes to what makes a good loadout here in Destiny 2. When looking at what makes a good loadout, you need to meet 3 requirements. Requirement number 1, you need a weapon that is good for ad clearing. This weapon will normally take primary ammo. Actually, it almost always takes primary ammo. Requirement number 2, you need a weapon that is good for group clear / single target damage, aka being able to take out majors. This weapon will normally take special ammo, but can sometimes take power ammo. And finally, requirement number 3, you need a weapon for big boss damage. This weapon will normally take power ammo, but can sometimes take special ammo. Now, if you have a weapon that overlaps into multiple of these requirements, then that's even better. So now let me give you a loadout of what used to be the absolute best loadout in the game, and I mean of all time. Like I used to use this loadout 24/7 back when Shadowkeep first came out. Izanagi's Burden, the Recluse, and Wendigo GL3. Keep in mind this was prior to both Izzy and Recluse getting slapped with nerfs. Izanagi's Burden for its main ability to dish out high boss damage, which is requirement number 3, and its secondary ability of great single target damage, which is requirement number 2. Recluse for its main ability of shredding through ads, which is requirement number 1. And finally, Wendigo GL3 for its main ability of dishing out great single target damage along with its group clearing capabilities, which is requirement number 2, and its secondary ability of being able to put in some work when it comes to boss damage, which is requirement number 3. You see how these weapons meet all the requirements that I mentioned above, but they also meet the other requirements, so they kind of intertwine with, each requirement. Yeah, that's what I mean. So hopefully that cleared up any confusion. So now that you know what makes a good loadout, let me go ahead and show you the loadout that I believe you should 100% have going into Beyond Light. Not to mention right now, the loadout's also really good, so yeah. First up, for our ad clearing weapon, we have Gnawing Hunger. This is a 600 RPM Void AR that as of Season of Arrivals is a world drop, meaning you can do just about any activity in the game and you have a chance of getting one. It can also drop from vendors and by focusing Umbral engrams. This assault rifle has quickly made its way into almost everyone's loadout this season, and for good reasons. This thing is an absolute monster. Little to no recoil, a good magazine size, the ability to put down ads faster than you can say OP, and not to mention how easy it is to obtain a God Roll. Speaking of God Rolls, let's talk about the perks. Column 1 and 2 are pretty standard when it comes to perks for AR, so I'm not going to mention them. Also, I have a future video planned where I will go more in depth with this gun, so yeah. But now getting into column 3, and here sadly we do not have a reload perk, but that's okay, we still have some pretty decent perks. Tap the trigger for its increased stability and the magical ability to land crits on the initial pull of the trigger. Subsistence for the ability to just never stop shooting as long as you're getting kills at the cost of having lower primary ammo reserves, but come on, primary ammo is everywhere. And then Zen Moment for all you controller players out there that just want absolutely no recoil. Then for column 4, and here we normally find a few damage perks. Well, good news. They're all damage perks except demo. Like seriously, it doesn't matter here. Just go with any of them that you think best fit your build. If you want my personal opinion, I think Kill Clip, Multi-Kill Clip, and Rampage are the best, but it's whatever goes with your build. Now, next up, for our single target damage / group clearing weapon, we have Witherhoard. This is the exotic from the season pass this season. It is a 90 RPM kinetic grenade launcher that has some pretty cool abilities. This weapon shoots blights, and if you direct impact an enemy with it, then the blight enters the enemy and does massive damage. After that, if the enemy is killed, then the area surrounding the enemy will become blighted, which means it will deal damage to any enemies that happen to pass through it. The same is also true even if the enemy is not killed by the direct impact of the shot. Now, even if you do not direct impact an enemy, the ground will still become covered in blight and will still do damage to any enemy that passes through it. This weapon fills the role of single target damage / group clear to a T. It can dish out big damage to majors, and if there is a horde of thrall chasing after you, well, just fire a couple shots on the ground in front of them and they will all go down. This is by far the best seasonal exotic we have gotten throughout Shadowkeep, only being rivaled by Ariana's Vow, but Ariana's is more of a situational weapon where Witherhoard can be used more freely. And now finally, we have our big boss damage weapon, Falling Guillotine. This sword is acquired via the Season Pass. The one you get from the Season Pass has static rolls, but you can get random rolls by focusing Umbral engrams. Speaking of rolls, let me go ahead and tell you all the God roll for this thing. In column 1, you are going to want Jagged Edge. For column 2, you will want Swordmaster's Guard. Column 3, Relentless Strike all day, and then finally column 4, where you need Whirlwind Blade. If you want to know more info on why these perks are the best and a few different alternative perks, then you can go check out the video I made where I break down all the weapons from the Umbral engrams and their God rolls. This is the best sword in the game right now, hands down. Currently, all swords are bugged, and after doing a heavy attack, the sword will then do another heavy attack, but you won't see damage numbers or the animation. The health of the enemy will just magically go down. This bug is set to be fixed Tuesday, July 7th, but even then, Falling Guillotine will still be the best sword in the game and one of the best boss damage dealing weapons in the game. It's not nicknamed Dark Drinker 2.0 for no reason. Now, we can also take a look at how these weapons not only fill their primary requirements, but also other requirements. Witherhoard is good for its primary requirement of single target damage / group clear, but can also put in work on boss damage, requirement number 3. And also add clear like a beast, which is requirement number 1. And then Falling Guillotine is amazing at its primary requirement of dealing big boss damage, but also destroys when it comes to single target damage and group clear, which is requirement number 2. All around, this is currently one of the best loadouts in the game and will definitely be a popular loadout going into Beyond Light because, like I said before, none of these weapons will be sunset at the start of year 4. And there we go. That is, in my opinion, the best loadout you can have at the ready when Beyond Light launches this fall. But now I need something from you. Yes, you. I need you to let me know in the comments section what loadout you are currently using this season. Also, what loadout will you have at the ready when Beyond Light drops? I'm curious. Some of y'all's loadouts that you have told me in the past, I have chased after and they've been amazing. And then I'm also curious as to what you all will have at the ready when Beyond Light launches, as well you all could think of something that I'm not thinking about. I'm curious, for real, let me know in the comment section. With all that being said, the rest of the video is going to be me running some strikes and decimating everything in my path with this loadout. So if you just want to see some raw gameplay, then there you go. If you enjoyed the video, then feel free to drop your boy a like, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Joki got the sauce, bitch.